Hey guys, Vertex Education here and welcome back to the 3DS Max Beginner Modeling Series, and in today's episode we're going to be taking a quick look at creating shapes and using splines to create the more unique and custom shapes inside of the modeling package. So if you take a quick look at my screen here, you can see that I've got some kind of shape. You don't know what it is, but this has all been predefined by me. I chose the location for all the vertexes and stuff, and then at first this was a 2D shape, and then I extruded that out and brought it into this crazy 3D shape. And over the next two tutorials, that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do. I'm going to be showing you how to create the basic shapes using splines, and then secondly, we're going to be showing you how to extrude it and then apply some other modifiers on top of that. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this and show you how to get started with splines. So go over to the Create tab, and instead of going to Geometry, just go over to Shapes, and make sure splines is selected from the drop down here. Now, if we wanted to, we could play around with some of the basic shapes that we've messed around with previously. Keep in mind, all of this is going to be 2D for now, as it is a spline. So we could go ahead and select one, like a rectangle, for example. I could click and drag, and it will make it straight on here. Or I could do the same with a star, and I can play around with things like the points, the distortion, and all of that good stuff. For the most part, you're probably going to know what all of these shapes are. Maybe not helix, but the important ones that you might not know is going to be the n-gon and the line. The line is probably the most important and the most powerful, as that's actually going to allow you to create custom shapes. So let me just go ahead and show you n-gon real quick. That's essentially going to allow you to create like hexagons, pentagons, and so on and so forth. So if I click and drag, I can do that, and then I can play around with the number of sides. So if I wanted to set that to 5, it could be a pentagon. Set it to 6, it could be a hexagon, and so on. But now let's go over and get into lines. So line is essentially going to be, I'm pretty sure I had this somewhere else. It's going to be similar to the pen tool in Photoshop, in the sense that it's going to allow us to define the exact location of our little vertexes. So let me just go ahead and show you that. So I click line, and then for now I'm just going to set the drag type to corner. I'm going to explain smooth and Bezier later on. But if I go ahead and do that now, click and keep clicking, it's going to allow me to create my own custom little shape. So yeah, and to close this off, I just go over to the start point, which is usually going to be the yellow little vertex over here. Just double click that, and it's going to ask me if I want to close the spline. Just go ahead and press yes, and that's pretty much how we can make our basic shape there. So the next one that I want to go over is our Bezier drag type. So just go over to line again, and this time select Bezier, and then just click like before, and then select the next point. But before you actually go ahead and get into that, it's going to let you choose some kind of little curve here, which is cool. So if you're going to be creating some smoother objects, this is definitely what you're going to be needing to do. But for the most part, you're probably not going to use it. If you're doing like hard surface modeling, creating things like crates or cabinets, stuff like that, you won't be needing to use the Bezier stuff. But when you do actually go in to create that, it's going to be adding in all the extra little vertexes. Anyway, so the next thing I want to do is show you how to use editable splines. I showed you in the previous episode, we used editable polygons to further modify the object once it's been created. So let's just go ahead and convert this into an editable spline. To do that, just select it, right click it, and go to convert to editable spline. And then once again, we've got the little selection menu up here, and we can choose vertexes, segments, or the whole spline. For now, we're just going to be working with the vertex, and you can see all of these here just sitting there. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and move these up, down, left, right, do whatever I want to with them. And then obviously also I could play around with the Bezier curve, but I'm not going to do that for now. But you can see that we have complete control over this little shape, and it really allows us to define that custom shape, those that we couldn't do before. But this is pretty much everything I want to go over for now. Just play around with some of the other stuff, create some weird wacky shapes, and in the next episode we're going to be showing you how to convert these from a 2D shape and bring it to life in 3D using extrusion and a few other little modifiers. So thanks for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.